I thought you were saying it's getting back to business.
That too. Can you see?
The business of getting down. I'm just checking. Yeah, just checking to make sure it's doing its thing. Things are doing. Things look okay.
I like your fancy setup.
It's all right. It's okay.
It's the best setup you've had yet.
This is the best it'll ever get. Is that how's your headphones?
It sounds like I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I sound like.
Why are you using her name?
Because you're not recording yet.
It's actually recording.
I know. It's always recording. But yeah.
It's always going.
You never put check-in levels and stuff in there.
Check.
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 Checker check.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Can I open this real loudly into the mic? It didn't work.
That's
it didn't
terrible.
do great.
That's the worst. Here, I can beat you.
I know you can. Cheers.
A non-alcoholic cheers, everyone. All right, enough.
This is boring.
Enough dilly-dally. I am Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
And we are parentally unprepared. 52 days out, parentally unprepared.
Good.
From number 2.
God.
It's coming.
What have we done?
What haven't we done? That's what you should be asking.
Listen, that's for a different podcast. This is a family affair. I've been swimming in little boy clothes. I swear, for the last 3 days,
Picture you like Scrooge McDucking around
exactly.
in children's clothes.
That's the way it feels. You walked in there, and that was organized compared to what I've been dealing with.
Just socks everywhere.
Oh my gosh, mittens and
fountains
socks.
of socks.
Mittens too. Like we have another founding member of the Mitten Club.
Mittens.
Like, oh my gosh, it's just so.
Well, you can't have another founding member, can you? You can only have one founding member. A new member to the Mitten Club, right?
Several people can found a club together, Jeremy.
Well, but
not at different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But
maybe a new chapter. Maybe a new
chapter.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is a new founding chapter member. Chapter founding member.
The boys club.
The boys side.
Yeah.
And really show what these mittens are all about. Sorry, I had to get semantic on you. I'm just
You getting cozy in your blanket over there?
I've been reading data, information, and statistic stuff all day today. So like everything's just like, oh yeah, the variable there is 3 mittens. Well, what you need to do is compound all that and hang it up on a hanger.
So I have that to blame for
It's just
semantics critiques.
No,
I get.
no, I'm reaching.
That's just you.
I'm just reaching. I'm reaching for stuff that's not working. It's not working.
Your daughter tried to semantically correct me the other day. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Mommy, it's not caught, it's catched.
You know,
you catched it.
I would question myself if she told me that.
I'm questioning myself right now.
Why? Because you can get the lemon?
No.
Okay.
I'm just questioning myself all the time.
He has an orange drink.
Doing?
I have a lemon drink.
Yeah. Starburst. Sparkling ice brought to you by Parentally Unprepared. Or wait, other way around. Switch it around.
Advertisers, come at us.
Yeah, this sweetener's not doing anything to my brain.
Or the baby.
Yeah, there you go. Thought about that today.
Yeah.
Feed them those plastics and those sweetness.
Oh my gosh.
Get in there.
I cannot believe we're as close as we are.
We are, yeah. We're about 8 weeks, a little less than 8 weeks now.
Closer to 7 now.
Closer to 7 than we are. Further over the hill than we are above it. What?
We've had a rough night.
Yeah, a rough month. Since the last time we recorded, which was just after. Well, I mean, it wasn't even just after Disney. It was a couple weeks after Disney.
Yeah.
We went through where we've been going through. I can't say anything, but we were going through the biggest sleeper version that we've had in a long time.
Since 2.5, I would say.
Yeah, and I know we won't get a lot of like sympathy because we were very lucky in the early years. So I can't like. There's no one for me to complain to.
Yeah, I was telling my best friend, I was like, we had a perfect sleeper for nearly 2 years, and
a little over 2 years.
Yeah, and at 2.5 and 3, we have gotten our comeuppance, and I mean, yeah, it's. I won't even call it a comeuppance because of the description that other people have given me. I'm still like,
well, we still have another one coming for comeuppance.
Yeah, exactly. But I just meant strictly from her.
Oh yeah.
But
it's been
her regression has been terrible.
Yeah.
To the point where tears have been shed by every member of the family.
And I mean, it's not something that's abnormal, just from the little bit of reading I've done, but it's one of those things where like you don't know if it's because of habits that are being formed, and being like slightly put onto us and not realizing it, or if it's just the fact that she's becoming more aware of things and more aware that she can impose her will on certain things and, voice her opinion. And, for a while, if you remember, after we took the crib rail off, she still never got out of bed because it was never an option, right?
Yeah.
Like it was like kind of like when
months where she just laid in there with no crib rail.
It's kind of like when the settlers came to the New World, and the going theory was that the natives couldn't see the ships because they'd never seen ships before, so they were just kind of like they just arrived, they just appeared. You ever heard of that concept before? Yeah, there's a concept that like, or a going theory that like if there's something that's so like
your brain just won't even register.
Your brain just won't register. Kind of like when
someone. Do you think UFOs work that way with us right now?
I mean, maybe, possibly.
Sorry, a little off topic. But.
No. I like talking about this stuff. I kind of miss talking about this stuff. It doesn't have to all be like. I've noticed the evolution of this podcast. I was thinking about it today when I was at home and like changing out of work clothes, and I was like, it starts off with like these great intentions and like, oh, here's where the baby's at. Oh, here's what we're doing to prepare. Here's what here's what you might be feeling in this week. And now we're just kind of like sitting there like, oh, here's the reality of it all. And like we're not looking for an I told you so, but we're more so just like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, baby's as big as celery right now. So there y'all go. 32
That's right.
weeks.
We have a stalk of celery as a child right now.
Big, giant ass stalk of celery in my tummy.
Let's see. What is that? What concept that natives?
You gotta learn to Google better.
Could not see. How would you Google it? Ships.
I don't know. Natives blind to ships.
All right, here
theory.
You go. This gave rise to a theory called the invisible ships phenomenon. The explanation to the natives' indifference to alien objects like a ship was the ships were so alien to the natives that their mental slots and receptors were unable to process these objects, and the ships remained invisible to them.
That seems racist as hell.
But it's been used for other things too. It's like so kind of like
show me another instance where that actually is the case though.
Okay, so kind of like going into shock whenever like a crime happens in front of you or to you, and you're kind of like it's so like it's the thing you're just not thinking about, so you just freeze.
Yeah, but freezing is different than not even registering something on your shores for days or months at a time.
I guess you're right.
That just seems like some racist BS.
Well, I mean, this is okay. So
they're too dumb to comprehend our boats, even though they also know how to fish. What? No.
And you've got some, you might actually have a point because here's Wikipedia. All right.
I'm not saying it's not a theory out there. I'm just saying it's a bad theory.
According to the invisible ships or ships not seen myth, when European explorer ships approached either North America or South America or Australia, the appearance of their large ships was so foreign, the native people could not see the vessels in front of them. It is likely based on a passage from Joseph Banks's diary, describing the HMS Endeavour's arrival in Botany Bay. Banks wrote that the natives did not appear surprised or concerned from a distance. But unlike the myth, once ships approached the land, they were confronted by armed men. Though the common versions of the myth are apocryphal and not based in science, it has been promoted by New Age personalities prominently in the 2004 film What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Wait, what the bleep do we know? That's the dude that got into the cult. That's the dude that got into NXIVM.
Is that the NXIVM? Yeah, that's the NXIVM guy.
Yeah.
The director, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. It goes all the way to the top.
It goes all the way to the top. But yeah, I was just kind of noticing how just things have just they're different now. Like it's not like it's just you found things that you were worried about before that you're not worried about now. Like even with the second kid coming, I'm like, well, I know what to expect with diapers. I know what to expect with this and that. Like if you listen back, like which I know you have been a little bit. Yeah, we're so much more like, I wonder what this is gonna be like. Now we're just kind of like, please sleep, please sleep, so you don't. Our thing right now is to get her out of the screaming stage. We got like the
screaming protest.
The screaming protests, and it goes on for sometimes 45 minutes or so.
She'll do it for a while, and like we're still trying to navigate because she's just so smart. Like, and it's not to say
how smart is she?
Shut up. It's not to say like we didn't expect to have like a kid that could comprehend stuff, but like she's figuring out stuff like that. I'm like, you shouldn't be figuring this out yet. Like, like she knows how to push buttons. She knows how to
manipulate.
I mean, yeah.
We were talking about a cult leader a second ago. She is figuring out how to cult this whole house up.
But I don't want to attribute manipulation to an almost 3-year-old because that seems harsh. But like, she works people,
things, to her advantage.
Absolutely. Like she bats her eyelashes. She looks adorable. She asks and sings songy voices, and she when she is upset, she turns on like pitiful, helpless baby. Come help me. I need you. Yeah. What did I do? Oh my gosh. Like,
and then when she gets you hooked, she smiles at you.
Yeah. And
you're like, well, this is making me mad now.
No, I flat out told her that. Yeah. I told her, I was like, when you smile at me, it makes me feel manipulated. And that was not probably the way to talk to her. And she's like, I'm not manipulating you. It's like, but like, you're smiling at me now.
Mind you, we're talking to a 2-year-old.
Yeah. She's almost 3. Come on.
Yeah, it's just close, but
it's just like the way she talks and thinks is so hard to navigate for us right now because she is 2/ going on 3. Like, so she is a baby still. Like,
it's a constant reminder.
But she talks like a damn 10-year-old.
Yeah, it blows a lot of people's minds. I mean, I was telling you today that we constantly run into other parents that are like, what did she say? And I'm picking her up from daycare. I'll pick her up outside. Hey, I didn't tell you about this. We walk outside and the teacher was like, and I was like, what's up? She's like,
oh, I know by the face she made exactly which teacher it was.
No, it was one of the helpers, the afternoon helpers, younger. Very nice. She was like, tell your dad we just called you. We just called him. She had like right before I walked out had called me, fake called me.
She's been doing that a lot lately. She likes fake calling.
But the teacher's like, no lie. Right before you walked out, she picked up a fake phone and called you and said, Daddy, please come pick me up now.
Ah, look at that.
I walked out. So the teacher was like, huh?
I was supposed to pick her up today too. That's funny. Hey, look at that. She's magic. She keeps telling me she has little kid magic.
She does say that.
Because I told her that she asked how the baby got in my tummy. I told her mommy magic. So she has decided she has little kid magic.
Yeah. So we walk in. So we were there outside the playground. We got to go into the room and get her stuff to go home. And we're walking in, and there's like there's a couple of classes out there because there's another set of parents I'd never met walking out there. And we pass them in the hall. And as we're passing them, she stops and looks up at me and says, "How was your day at work? How was your day at work today, Daddy?" And I was like, "How was my day at work?" My day was fine. It was good. How was school? And we kept walking, and like behind me, I hear the mom go, because there's a mom and a dad. I hear the mom go, "That kid just asked him how his day was at work." She just asked him how his work day was.
I've never gotten commentary from the other parents, but so I normally pick her up today, and she'll ask me a lot, like, "How was your day at work?" And I've just like taken, because it definitely caught me off guard the first time she did it, and I've taken just to being like, "It was wonderful, baby. How was your day at school?" Or "It was busy. How was your day? What'd you do?" And like just kind of keeping it going. But
you think that just stems from us? She knows we go to work because she asks us where we're going. And, and maybe just the fact that we ask her about school every day, like, "How was school today, babe?" Stuff like that. But
that's another thing with her is like, she picks up on like conversation.
She connects
key points,
the dots,
like, and rhythms and things like that. Like she picks up on, greetings and key phrases and stuff like that, and just runs with them, blows people away, including us. And then you got to explain to her why the hell we get to sleep in the same bed and she's got to sleep on her own. That's honestly her biggest hang up. That's why she's mad. And we've tried to explain to her that the baby's going to sleep in his own room too. And I don't think she buys it, but it did buy us one night when we first explained it. She was like, "Okay, I can get behind that." But like, that was months ago. And she's like, "Where's the proof?"
Where's the
Show me.
You guys are fleecing me. What are you doing here?
That's the way I think she thinks of us.
She's constantly trying to crack the case.
She really is.
She's like a little detective trying to crack the case of what is going on in this household. And it's just like, it's not as interesting as you think.
Well, she thinks we're trying to get this is why she thinks we're trying to pull one over on her constantly. And it's because she knows we don't sleep when she sleeps. Even though we tell her everybody's going to take a nap, everybody's going to bed. She knows that's bull. Like, and my mom gave it up yesterday because she flat out said in the car in front of everybody, when she sleeps, we're going to go do this, and clean this from like the baby. And you are talking to you are going to go do schoolwork or reading or whatever you need to do. And she said that right in front of our daughter. And I'm sitting there in the front seat going, "Why'd you do that?" I'm about to have to answer a lot of questions and get a lot of argument because she isn't going to want to sleep if she knows other people have things to do. And that somehow it didn't happen that way yesterday. Normally, if she knows you got things to do, she's not sleeping. She's going to scream the whole time at this point, at this age.
I mean, some nights are better than others.
Yeah.
Last night was kind of rough, but I mean, we were also went from
daylight savings,
dealing with that into now we've got a ear infection. Now we're kind of sick, so sleep's not that good when it is happening. And
of course, she caught an ear infection right before daylight savings.
Yeah. But I think what we're doing now is probably the best thing. We were giving in and going in there and checking, and I think she realized she could do that. So she was like, "Well, more of that," because I want him back in here. Because she just does that thing where she starts to fall asleep, and then she's like, "I need to yell or something to wake myself back up."
She literally fell asleep twice last night and woke herself back up yelling. And she did that for a nap when our daycare was closed the other day, and I was watching her while you had a lunch meeting. And yeah, she was absolutely asleep twice and screamed herself awake so she didn't go to sleep. And I was sitting there like, I have phone calls to make. I have to do things.
But that's been kind of like what's been dominating. And like, I've been trying to like help you, because you've mentioned it a couple times, help you refocus on the fact that, got a new little guy.
Yeah, man.
And you keep bringing up the fact that you feel like you haven't had a chance to appreciate that.
No, I feel like we've been so busy chasing and solving problems. Like, it's been hard to focus. I mean, and we're not living in a pandemic world where everything's shut down and you can just sit with your pregnant belly and watch it move all day. Like, there's a lot going on now.
Normal life's happening.
Normal life's happening. We have to leave the house and go to obligations, and like we have to go to parties and go to events and go see people and go to family functions and all that stuff. That
what age is it where we get to start?
It was nice to take 2 years off for a little while.
What age is it when we get to just start saying no?
What do you mean?
To everything.
Like, what age are we or them or what?
Yeah, what age do we get to just say nah?
83, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Then see, at 83, no one wants you around anyway.
Exactly. That's why you can get away with it.
Everybody's like, they're not coming. They're not coming. They're not going to show up. It's going to be great. We're going to have a great time now.
You're going to be the grumpiest old man. I can't wait.
Actually, I bet I'll be really fun, and I'll have to pull you out of the grump mode.
What?
I think it's going to happen that way.
God, I hope not.
Look, like I
My
think
mom's
about
not a grump.
I think about grandparents in our life right now, right?
We got some grumpy grandparents. I got some grumpy.
There are grandparents that don't leave their house ever. They're just like, nah. Sure, I've never been there, but nah.
Yeah, I love them though.
No, I mean I do too. That's the thing. It's almost like you don't want it to happen because it's like it's the thing, right? Like, and if it does, like you're gonna be like, it's gonna just be like there's nothing to hold on to at this point.
You are speaking in gibberish right now.
I don't know.
A lot of general pronouns. It to happen because of the thing. I'm not following you.
Well, I was just kind of thinking like it's like a don't meet your heroes type situation. It's like you have something that not coming out to see the house, right? You're like, it's always been this thing, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. And then you finally get to it. And then you're like, okay, well now what are we going to hound them about? Okay. Now what are we going to give them grief about?
Perspective is my grandparents that we want to come visit our house. They have never done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to be kind of general, so I wasn't calling a person out.
But then nobody listening for the sake of listening to a podcast is going to follow.
I'll edit it.
Okay.
I hate it.
How's your cozy blanket?
It's fine. I'm wrapped up like in a big, what do you call that? What kind of dress would this be when you wrap it around your waist and it goes all the way? Skirt? Just like a long skirt?
Beach cover up.
Yeah. It's great.
Maxi skirt.
I'm maxi skirting it out. This is where I'm at now.
That's what I'm living in these days. I'm refusing to buy more maternity clothes because we're only 52 days away.
We're in a pants-free zone.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's great.
I take every opportunity I can to not leave the house or only wear a dress or skirt or leggings.
Yeah. And
I got belly bands to go with blue jeans, but the zipper at the bottom pinches the bottom side of my belly, so I don't like them.
Ew. Pinchy.
You're a little sensitive.
Yeah, we're at that time of the year too where it's like it feels nice outside, feels good, but the basement hasn't quite warmed up yet. So I got down here, I was like, oh man, shorts was a bad choice. My legs are cold.
I've been in the basement all day though, like working, and I still didn't get cold because like every time my ADD acted up today, I like ran and did something. And I guess I just kept my blood flowing, but
keep it moving.
You crank that heater up though, and I'm cozy now.
So how's mom feeling? How are things seeming? Being 52 days out.
He's moving around a lot more. Like I think when we were.
You know what woke him up, right? You know what woke him up?
Starburst ice.
Nope.
Oh, okay. What?
Visiting the hospital.
Oh.
That's when you were like, he started kicking around again.
He's like, that's where I'm coming to visit everybody.
You were talking about how it didn't feel like he was kicking around as much as first child did.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I still don't feel like he's moving as much as she did. He did start getting the hiccups. He started having the hiccups pretty regularly, which our first child had, I thought, from based on my memory, almost from the moment I could first feel her, she had the hiccups every day. But he just started getting them almost daily. It's really cute. It's so cute. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe my placenta's placed differently. Like they both have been in the front, but you know, that's a big area to cover.
Was that anterior?
Yeah.
So we did the hospital tour, which was cool, kind of nostalgic because I mean it's where we had the first baby, so it really felt like just being back there again.
Felt like going on a vacation, like back to somewhere you've been on vacation before, a little bit. Like, because
you almost wanted to be like, yeah, everyone, like, just wanted to tell everyone else, like, oh yeah, well, this or this.
Oh, I had to bite my tongue so many times on that tour because it was a group tour this time. The first time we toured the hospital, it was one-on-one because of COVID protocols and stuff like that. And this time it was a big group tour, and me and him both had to stop from like cracking jokes and trying to entertain the group because it looked like a bunch of first-time parents. And we were just like, don't worry. It was a good spot.
You'll be fine.
What did I say? I made the joke. I was like, how many people do you need to tell you need an epidural?
Oh, yeah. But there's no context for them because...
They all laughed.
Yeah. Oh, but I knew how you were telling it because you had to tell them several times you wanted an epidural. You told them
it took a while.
Quite a while, but the lab was backed up. Hopefully we don't have that situation again.
You'd think they'd get it. Yeah. After 4 years of COVID protocols.
They did tell us how the visiting policies are different than when we were there.
They're not. We're not telling anybody that.
I think we're going to keep it pretty low key though, because we want to just be in there, get our bearings, and go home. We want to get the bulk of our visitors at the house.
Yes, please.
Because that is the better way to be, because that is a more comfortable situation. There's nothing more awkward than standing in a hospital room and being like, okay, well, saw the baby.
Well, I mean, like,
hope
also
you're doing all right.
Yeah, you're sitting there, you just pushed a human out of your vagina or had your stomach cut open, like one way or the other. And you're receiving visitors from everywhere. Like, you're swollen, your stomach hurts.
I'm all blown out.
Yeah, like you don't want to put on makeup. You may do it for a photographer if that's your thing, like me, but that's about all I really wanted to do. And
we got to put makeup bag on our list.
Yeah, and it just entertaining people is the last thing you want to do at that point. He just kicked real hard. He's throwing me off balance now a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's getting strong.
What he's doing, he's bunching up to one side. And he's pushing off like a swimmer.
Oh my gosh, he is all about like getting his like a toe hold into my pelvis and just like wedging himself and just stretching. Just stretching. That's how he stretches. Is he
feel him pushing your pelvis?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh,
yeah.
Creepy.
It doesn't hurt, but it's like pressure. But yeah, like I just entertaining anyone with small talk in a hotel, and did it too in a hospital.
Feels like a hotel.
A little bit in a hospital room, because it does feel like a hotel in the fact that it's like it's your intimate living space in a short period of time, and you're just like, why is everybody all up in my like bedside area where I've been, in various states of undress, would rather be in little to no dress right now, like all that stuff. So I just can't imagine receiving everyone, and it makes me feel bad for every baby I went to visit in the hospital before getting pregnant.
Yeah, but that was also the way it was then.
I know, and a lot of those moms obviously wanted, there had to be some that wanted some visitors, I'm sure. Like, and that is just not for me, is all I'm saying.
So we're planning on severely limiting what goes on, because we'll be home in a couple of days. It's
just give me 45 hours.
Go visit the first baby, because the first baby needs all the attention that she can get.
Oh, please. For the love of God.
Please.
Y'all put on a Shakespearean play together and film it for me. Send it over.
So we've been going over the checklist.
God.
It
gets longer and longer every day.
It doesn't get smaller, I'll tell you that much. It might not get longer, but it doesn't get smaller at all.
You did put the fan up in his room. So now our children have matching brand new fans in their rooms.
I'm sort of handy.
They have big enough bookshelves to house the Library of Congress. So they
put together 2 bookshelves.
They both have 2 bookshelves each now.
I know. I put together a total of 4 bookshelves.
Nope, you put together more than that because I got them in their playroom too.
I put together 6 bookshelves, all the same exact Target bookshelf that you've seen at Target, the squares, the white squares.
The one that looks like the IKEA one, but is $100 less. Yes, that one.
The white squares of death. No backer. No backer.
Yeah, just leave the backer off and you're good. It's exactly the same.
So done that. Got the fans up.
Clothes are washed. Hung some stuff on the walls.
Hung some stuff on the walls. Moved some stuff around a little bit.
Vacuums. Put clothes in the changing table. Put diapers in the changing table.
Yeah, you're about what? You're a little about halfway done, like putting clothes away. You got a bunch of them hung up, and you've got little labels saying what size they are. It's very cute.
It's cute.
You're organizing the drawers for future sizes.
It's such a darker palette than what we had before. It's weird to see. I mean, we got
it's a boy. It's man.
It's man. We got a lot of hand-me-down clothes, which is awesome. Like, everybody's been super generous, and we haven't had to do very much at all. I bought his hospital outfits, and that's it. But yeah, like looking in the closet, it was and we didn't do like a whole lot of pink at the beginning with
No, it was
our
very
daughter.
neutral.
It was neutral, but it was all white.
Yeah, it was all much lighter clothes. Yeah.
These are all like dark grays, and I'm like,
dark grays, blue, some dark blues.
Oh my God.
A lot of browns.
Okay, so my mother was telling me a story. One of my cousins had a boy in the last year, and apparently he projectile pooped. I didn't know this was a thing. And apparently this is something. Excuse me. Can you edit that out?
No, that stays. That is vulgar.
I'm so sorry.
Bart Simpson burps.
I'm going to projectile vomit apparently or something.
Don't just push the mic out of the way. We can clean up everything else.
Anyway, baby, projectile pooped on everything like 3 times in a row.
Wait.
Yeah.
3 different times or 3 times in the same change setting?
So in the same change setting, but soiled 3 different sets of diapers. Like, so one diaper got soiled, another one got soiled. No. I'm confusing that with something else. But sorry. Anyway, leave the 3 out of it. He still projectile pooped across the whole room.
Okay. How far was that?
My aunt was covered in poop all over her arms and like her clothes and like she was calling her husband, the baby's grandfather, and was like, come help. I can't do anything. And she's trying not to leave the baby, but she's covered in poop and he's covered in poop and there's just no helping anything. And like right as she was calling him, he was about to head out the door. The baby's dad walks in and she's like, never mind, he's here. He can help. And he said he just heard from the door that he was there to help and he had no clue what he was walking into. And he walked in and the whole room was just like covered. But my mom was telling me the story and I'm not telling it great, but because I have to leave out details, but my mom was telling me the story to drive home to me that little boys have the ability to projectile poop and I should watch out for this. And I was like, oh no.
I'm pretty sure all babies are going to have that ability. But
yeah, I think it's like she was implying that it was more common with boys.
Oh, well, guess we'll cross that bridge when it poops on us.
I just remember that one time our daughter, she gave it a good mess, and I just sent you a picture of the carnage. And then I put her in that onesie that says, Mama, you're doing great.
Oh.
Which I had seen that come through the clothes. Yeah, I wonder if that one got messed up.
I don't know.
We might have to rebuy that one.
You're doing great, Mom. So we've been going through all that stuff. I think once we get the clothes put away, I mean, we're kind of as close as we're going to get. We still need to set up stations.
Yeah.
But
breastfeeding stations, diaper stations.
And then I guess the only big thing remaining would be to call the insurance. Call your insurance, folks. Let them know.
I got to do that.
Let them know.
You went through and pulled a bunch of stuff out of cabinets in the kitchen, so we have some room for all these bottles and things.
Yeah.
And then I've been trying to organize my office / our guest room because we're going to have some help for a couple of weeks and people staying with us. And we got a 13-foot desk in there that we built into the wall. There's literally just every single inch of it was covered in paperwork and
artwork, pictures, and art,
yeah.
books, and
things that just need to be shredded. Just general trash.
Every house has a pile of shred stuff, though.
This is ours is a 24 by 24 box.
Oh, I was going to say, how many banker boxes is it?
What's a banker box again?
You know, the banker box, the ones with the lid, the cardboard ones you construct, and they have a lid to them.
At least 2.
And 2 handles. You usually see people get fired carrying them out.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. At least 3.
3 banker boxes.
At least.
You're better off taking it to like Office Depot and having them shred it.
That's what I was going to do. That's what I would love to do. Do they still offer that service? Because they used to.
I don't know if they do, so.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah, I was going to have you do that, actually. Because it's heavy, and I'm super pregnant.
See, now you're just abusing it.
Listen.
Now you're just abusing it.
Only so much I could do.
Literally. Mm-hmm. Only so much.
Go get that laundry basket real quick for me, too.
No. I'm not going to get anything. My feet are up. My skirt is tight. My legs are warm.
I don't know. What are you looking forward to in the delivery room? You sent me that video that made me ugly cry about Just You Wait.
Oh yeah, God. It was a Just You Wait, only it's positive things about your second child. And I don't know, just I mean, I enjoyed the whole process last time. And it was such a good memory. I don't know.
It was very stressful and scary, and yet, yeah, a great memory. And
it's going to be stressful and scary in a different way, though, right?
Yeah, and like I'm not as worried as I was last time, but I'm still worried about some of the same things I was last time. Like, the whole don't die in childbirth thing. That scares the shit out of me. Oops, sorry. But like, but there's only so much within our control. I got to realize that, but there are scary aspects that go into it, but I'm trying not to dwell on any of that. And it's easy not to dwell because we don't have a moment's time anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the only good thing that has come from being busy is there's not a ton of time to think yourself into a spiral, but you can still find room to do that.
Yeah.
I guess any of my concerns or anxiety just centers around making sure he's good to go. Yeah. I think that we've been through the process before. You handled it really well last time.
Thanks. I didn't feel like I did.
I don't foresee it being.
Well, and I don't
worry about it. I shouldn't say foresee, but I don't worry about it being, the process itself of giving birth and being in there. I don't foresee that as being a thing, but just putting eyes on him. I just want to put eyes on him.
And then we won't take our eyes off of him for at least 9 months or so, knowing us.
I remember the first 2 nights it was hard to sleep. First 2 nights was hard to sleep, not because she was awake, but just because we're like, is she breathing?
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Especially after, I guess not so much even in the first few days, because we were just doing shifts in the first couple days, and then that 5th night is when we put her in the bed, in her own bed, and that was a rough couple of nights of sleep, just because you're like staring, you're like, still breathing?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Still good?
I wouldn't let you hold the monitor. I put
the monitor like right.
Yeah, I put the monitor about 5 inches from my pillow.
The thing I was looking at is because we got the Owlet. I opened up the Owlet app and it doesn't have a timeout on the screen, so I just hooked up my phone and like propped it up so I could just open my eyes and see heart rate.
Heart rates, yeah.
Heart rate, O2.
See, my phone times it out. I guess yours doesn't though.
Yeah, mine didn't for some reason. It would just stay on and up. So maybe it's an option.
Yeah, maybe we can look that up. But I'll probably do that again in the beginning because all the things you can spiral with. But I'm worried about more like a lot of practical things too, like making sure we do introductions with her and him properly. Like I read somewhere that she should go pick him out a gift, because like when you give somebody something, it makes you like them better. Some psychological phenomenon.
I mean, we could do that if you want.
And we worry about our daughter being manipulative, because I'm sitting here trying to manipulate her.
I plan on just walking in the door and be like, hey, new kid's here. Get out of the way. New models has just arrived. Get out of the way.
You're a jerk.
Yeah. Go to your room. We'll come get you in a little while.
No. Oh my God, that little girl's the light of your life. Don't even try.
Yeah, she is. Well, I'm sure it'll be like, I mean, it's been years of siblings and all kinds of stuff. I think she's been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
She'll be fresh off of a brand new birthday.
Yeah.
I mean,
big girl number 3 before kiddos do.
And she should be, number 3. And she should be like in pretty good spirits, because she will have spent a couple of good days with grandparents that love to spoil her.
That just means she's going to be rotten. And we're going to have to reel it back in.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to land with them. Hey, stick to the routine, or at least stick to the sleeping routine. I don't care. Like, I don't feel like I can really tell them what to do in the waking hours to reasonably. Yeah. Within reason, I should say. But just get her to bed. Yeah. Just stick to not going in there.
I think it's going to be different when they've got her all day.
Probably.
Because they're going to be like, no, it's 6. Oh, time to run the bathtub.
We better run that bath. You've been crawling up my rear all day. And they're kind of lucky too, because if it happens during the middle of the week, they've got the ability to drop her off at daycare still.
Yeah, that's true.
Get you a little breaky.
Well, it's kind of a break. They still got to go to work, I'm sure. But it's going to be an interesting kind of setup. I don't know. I think it'll be fun.
It is.
She was kissing my belly yesterday.
She was.
Mm-hmm. It was very cute.
I'm honestly looking forward to, I know it won't be comfortable, but sleeping a little bit, because the girl will be with the grandparents.
Yeah.
The little one will be with us.
Well, you get to sleep.
And there's a lot of, I mean, you have to feed and everything, but still, just not having to get up and go and do for 2 days, other than being there with the baby.
I am looking forward to that too. It's
going to be quiet.
I'm not quite looking at it as a sleep catch up by any means, because I mean, just the worry, like even with the nursery there and nurses to watch, like I probably won't be as anxious as I was last time, but I'm sure I'll still be me. And then I got to feed him every 2 hours. Cause you remember in the first 2 weeks, like that hour, it's every 2 hours, and the clock starts when you start feeding. So by the time you finish feeding in 20 minutes or whatever, you only got an hour and 40 before you're supposed to feed them again.
Yeah, true. I mean, I think that stuff just, what do you remember about that? Do you remember, like, I feel like that whole section where we had to be timing everything out, just gone.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I mean, it's only 2 weeks, and thankfully you're not working, I'm not working, we're lucky in that aspect. I know I said this 3 years ago when we did this the first time around, like, it's barbaric how quick we send people back to work after they have a baby. So I think the scariest part for me was just like figuring out the sleeping situation. And I think that's going to be scary for us because, if he's a bassinet baby, unlike our daughter was, and he has to sleep in the room with us for some reason, oh my God, all hell's going to break loose at this house, because we've been telling her he's going to sleep in his own room for months.
I think that can be rationalized, though. I
hope.
mean, that can be like, well, he's brand new. We have to be close because mommy has to keep feeding him, you know. But we're gonna shoot for. I
don't think that's gonna.
I think we're gonna shoot for getting him in the bed like we did with her.
Oh, I'm definitely. I am aiming for that, but like, yeah, I don't think any rationalization is gonna float with her on that. And here's the thing, like, I don't know if we've explained it on previous episodes because we don't do them as often as we did in the beginning, but we would absolutely let her sleep with us sometimes or go sleep with her just to keep the peace and be like every other parent. But she literally will not let you sleep. Like,
she won't let herself sleep.
She won't let herself sleep. She will not let you sleep. She will kick. She will talk. She will move. She will
pick
fidget.
Your face.
She will mess with your face. She'll pick your nose. Like, she will do everything in her power to keep you both awake, so she's not missing out on a single thing.
Doing that to her grandmother this weekend in the car.
Oh God, yeah. My mom came over and then she like had insomnia the first night she was here and didn't sleep. And then we were going to our maternity photo shoot at a local waterfall, and my mom fell asleep in the car on the way there, and she literally just sit there and like poke her nose.
Just kept
in the
waking
back
her
seat.
up. Kept calling her.
And wouldn't stop waking her up.
Hey, can you leave her alone? She's sleeping.
Yeah,
no.
and we didn't
She needs to
expect-
be awake. She needs to be awake with me.
And we didn't expect her to fall asleep back there for some reason. I should have anticipated that. But otherwise, I would have put her in the front where the kid couldn't mess with her, because I could have called that she wouldn't have let her sleep had I known she was going to try it.
You couldn't have fit back there.
Yeah, I guess with my big old belly right now, I can't.
That's the other thing to get ready is the car seats.
Yeah. I put another of the Diono. How do you say it? Diono. I put another one of those on the registry.
Diono.
That's how I want to say it.
Yeah,
Dianetics.
for my tiny car.
For your tiny car, yeah. You keep asking for a third row. I'm just like,
I'll get you another car seat. How about that?
You get a sugar mama, we can get one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's fine. We'll figure it out. There's families that have 3 kids in one vehicle, so
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and we always thought we were going to need a bigger SUV because back when we had 2 big dogs and a little dog, we trucked them everywhere. Well, we're down to 1 big dog and 1 little dog, and our big dog does not travel well. Doesn't like to travel at all, to be frank.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He just wants to be at the house.
Yeah.
He's
So-
just laying out there like a lazy bum right now.
Right now, our biggest problem is suitcases, and that's just poor planning. So save ourselves some money and stop packing like we're moving somewhere every time we go.
I mean, I pack just fine.
Whatever.
I get all mine in a tiny suitcase. Also, we're pretty lucky. Most of the places we go have a laundry we can
Yeah.
use. Like it's a little different when you're going somewhere like a hotel that doesn't have laundry, or you have to pay to have your stuff laundered.
I feel like every bit of our packing has changed though since we've moved into the same closet and we've both dialed down our wardrobes by half.
Maybe, yeah.
Because we've only kept the stuff we really like. So there's no like taking options in case I don't like something. You just take 3 outfits you know you like no matter what.
Well, our biggest trips have been the beach, and like
We're not packing for the winter.
You don't pack that. Yeah, you don't pack for the winter. Yeah, I don't know. I just I think it's all. We'll just be able to get by with what we got going on. It's fine. It'll be all right. I could handle not having a bigger car payment.
I would love to not have a bigger car payment. We have plenty of payments right now. We've got more medical bills than I even want to think about.
Yeah. Those are going to get handled, but then we get, as soon as those get handled, we'll have the baby
Daycare.
arrives. The baby arrives.
Then we get a new medical bill, and then we get daycare.
Yep. And the cycle continues.
Yay!
But I'm kind of just, I'm trying to keep myself just optimistic and kind of happy about all of it. I know it's kind of a drag to have a daycare bill, to have all the stuff, but
Yeah, I'm not excited about the bills, but I'm excited about him.
I try to keep myself.
I think I'm only not excited about it's money, it's bills, but I really just can't stand our daycare.
I try to just keep myself I don't know, just I think about that stuff, but I try to keep myself like not anxious about it because I don't want that to be the prevailing inner thoughts or subconscious thoughts when I think about this time period.
Oh,
you know?
no. Yeah.
Because I know that years from now, I'm not going to be thinking about the fact that we had a car payment or 2 daycare payments. Like, I just want.
I think years from now, I'll still think about 2 daycare.
I'm trying to not do that. Yeah, I'm trying to not think about that. That's why I try to put myself in the headspace, but it's hard to get away from it. You know, it's hard.
I'll still think about how cute my son is, but I'll still think about 2 daycare payments too. Good Lord.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that do, I'm sure, still, like, even though they're out of that range, you know. But we only have to put up with 2 daycare payments for 2 years?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
2 years.
Sounds right.
Before kindergarten.
Unless we decide to stick the Montessori route.
Well, yeah, there's that. But how does that make you feel? Because I just thought of it. 2.5 years from now, we're going to be in daycare situation. No, I'm sorry, kindergarten situations.
Not even 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's terrifying. How's time going this fast?
Because that's just what it do.
No.
Slow when you don't want it. Slow when you want it to pass for something. Fast when you want it to stay slow.
I have felt like I have been pregnant for 2 eons at least.
You got that elephant gestation period going.
Absolutely. Like, and I'm really enjoying like being able to finally feel him kick. That's like super reassuring. But I was telling you the other day, like, I am ready to get my body back. And I don't mean that in like a I'm ready for the beach way. I mean that in a I need to be able to abuse my body the normal way I do to get the things done I do. Like,
stay up late.
Yeah, 5-6 hours sleep, be able to jump up and down, roll around on the floor with the kid and play with her, like bend over, run, like, you know, he's kicking, he's mad that I'm even talking about this.
He's like, you want me out?
Yeah, I'll get out.
All right, open the door.
But I was just thinking about like all the things I do normally, and I was talking to another mom friend of mine, and she was just like, I understand exactly what you're saying though. Like the way we push our body normally, you can't do when you're pregnant because you have to think about somebody else, and it's like, okay, I'll do that, but damn, time's moving slow. Like,
right, yeah. I mean,
because you just watch things. You were talking to me about things that need, you know, make a list of some of the things that need to be done so you can like try to keep it going when I'm out of the pocket.
Slack,
yeah. And like, I mean, thinking about what I do just to do chores, like I'm not supposed to do half the chores I'm doing still right now because of the way you're not supposed to, like people say you're not supposed to, like they recommend you don't bend over like a ton and all this other stuff. And it's just like, what are you talking about, man? They don't build dryers like that. Like, but
sorry. I think one of the dogs might have farted.
He's way out there.
Maybe mom farted then.
Not me, and the other one's over there. She
farted.
Her butt is pointed towards you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's one of those. There's nothing you can do about it because you're just stuck where you're stuck, and you're those last 2 months where that stamina to do anything just keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking.
My stamina's gone, like,
which I'm surprised you were able to do Disney, but you felt it for sure.
Oh, I felt it. I felt it so hard.
Even just going for what? How long was our maternity shoot? That was what? About we were there about an hour.
Yeah, about
roughly. I mean, we were there a little earlier, so we were having to just kind of wrangle.
Yeah,
we were wrangling
I ran with her like an idiot, and I like took a few running steps and felt like the weight of my belly and baby. Mm-hmm. And I was like, shouldn't have done that. Because you're just trying to like horse around with your kid, you know.
You climbed on rocks in dress shoes.
Listen, I climbed up one rock in dress shoes because you guys were too busy doing other things to check it out.
I was wrangling your kid.
I know. We brought another person to do that too. Anyway, I was not going to go anywhere I couldn't get out of. If I had to destroy the dress to sit down on the ground to get out safely, I was going to do it that way. Don't give me that look. Anyway, I hope the pictures are good.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be great. We are coming up on an hour. Anything else that's kind of on your mind right now? Or, I mean, obviously it's no rush to get anything out because we can always reconvene again next week.
I got a rush to get something.
Other than the baby,
get your lungs developed, son. That's all.
You keep pushing it. He's gonna show up on your daughter's
on
birthday.
her birthday, exactly.
Or he's gonna show up the day before her birthday.
Oh my God, how mad would she be?
Or you're gonna go into labor
At the party
before her birthday, the day before her birthday, and then have him before or on or after her birthday. Don't rush things. We talk about this all the time. That's the mantra of the show. Don't rush it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just you wait. All right, I will wait. Yes. You're right.
Please wait. Yeah, I mean,
what else is on your mind?
There's a lot. My mind's just been racing lately, man.
She's been kicking you in the feels. Or actually, I think everything's been kicking you in the feels.
I've cried every single day for like the
multiple
last
times a day.
Month. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. If it wasn't like me feeling like the worst parent ever because she's screaming for us to come rescue her at nap time, bedtime, anytime she's separate from us, basically, just like, you know, she's screaming she doesn't like her room. Which I tried my best to make.
Her room's like blank now. We pulled everything off the walls.
She hated every picture we put up. She hated the curtains. She hated the rug. She hated her teepee that she's adored since the day she got it.
She just is figuring out ways to get us back in the room. That's what she's doing. And I mean, we'll just keep subtracting things from it. That's fine. She's gonna. It
looks like a jail cell right now.
It's going to have by the time this baby arrives, there will be a mattress on the floor in that room, and a pillow, and a blanket.
One day in frustration, I said, "Baby, what do you want me to do? You want me to tear down your bed?" Because she's got a big girl bed and it's like shaped like a house. And she was pointing around, and we hadn't quite figured out that there was a plant there that was kind of casting a weird shadow she didn't like. And her teepee has like 4 little posts at the top, so you know, given the right light, that could look pointy or scary, I guess. And
but she did want your dinosaur head out of your office on her wall.
A vicious T-Rex head.
Look, it's made to look like a mounted T-Rex head, like
an
a trophy,
angry one,
like a trophy head from a wild animal.
Do you know why she wanted it? I figured it out. Because she wanted to paint it.
Oh,
I told her no. I said she could have it, but she couldn't paint it. But
I was like, where she wants to put it, that's where her light is just going to shine on it, and it's going to make a bigger shadow of a T-Rex on her wall.
Toothy T-Rex. Yeah, she wanted
that's a terrible idea.
It's terrible. But yeah, like, so her walls are completely blank right now. And yeah, she was just sitting there and she was pointing at her bed frame and was like, I don't like any of this. And I think she might have been there's a blue accent wall that's a carryover from what was the guest room before that we didn't paint. And I'm thinking about peel and stick wallpapering over it just to quickly do something to fix that. But I was so frustrated at the time because we had taken paintings out, we had taken teepees out, we flipped the curtains around so the black side of the curtains is facing inwards into her room, not the cute pink ones. Pink is her favorite color. And I just look at her and I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to tear down your bed? And she looked very shocked because I went to 100 and she was like she looked at me like she didn't quite understand what I was saying. I'm like, I can tear it down, I guess. I mean, that's the only other step we got, kiddo. And she was just like, no. I was like, okay. Are you okay in your big girl bed? I thought you loved your big girl bed. And she was like, I do. And she's like, started thinking about it.
Yeah. At this point,
where do you go from here? At
this point, you would send me something. What do you think about this for her room? I was like, I don't know. Ask her, because if we buy it and she doesn't like it, it's just going to sit there in storage or in the basement. So at this point, I'm just like, nothing's going on this wall until you pick it out. Because once it goes up on the wall, it's staying there.
Yeah.
Because then I can be like, you picked it out.
Yeah, and she'll take it. She will take that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she accepts that.
I hope so. She ain't got a choice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but like normally, if you remind her, she picks it out. She's so proud of her own taste and like
Maybe
her own decisions.
Yeah.
If it's her idea, that's all she wants. It's just all of it to be her idea, her own autonomy, not be told what to do, not be made to do what you want her to do. That's all she wants.
I don't know anyone like that.
I'm gonna throw this coaster at your head. I don't know. I'm just, it kind of all. I'm still trying to wrap my head how it's gonna be with two because like she's just been the only thing we can focus on.
It's gonna be amazing, is what it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be amazing, of course, but I'm just like, you can't understand.
It's the only unknown. It's the only unknown this time around because we know what having a baby is like, but it's the unknown of this situation, and because we know all the other things. So that's what's. I mean, I've wondered about it too, but I know that that's been on your mind a little more.
I don't know how to do it. Like, it's not that I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, I don't know that I can do it. I'm just sitting here like, I don't have these instructions, you know?
That's the cool secret.
Yeah, of course. But my point is like, you know, you can't know until you're there. Like, nobody can explain it to you.
Yep. That's why I think after becoming a parent, I just don't, it's not that I don't pay attention to people that don't have kids, because I know plenty of people that don't have kids, but I realize that nothing I said before I was a parent to parents, you realize, oh, I was really just talking out of my ass.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what I was saying. I have no idea what I was talking about.
I mean,
and you talk to people, and like, I'm sure it's all well-meaning.
I think it's a good perspective to have because parents aren't the only people in the world. They're like, those people that do not have children exist in the world, and
100%.
like their opinion colors society, you know, like, so getting input from people like that on like, hey, your kid probably shouldn't run through the restaurant. There's a bunch of hot food and knives around. Like, it's good. I used to say that before I had kids, so it's not terrible advice.
I guess the perspective I was looking at was that's the big question of how are we going to do this? It's the same as before we had the first one, because we were like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
We're so unprepared. You just do it. It just happens, because you just adjust naturally to it all, I think, because that's how we did it the first time around.
It's an answer I've always hated for anything. Like, how do you do this? You just do. Where's the rest of the owl?
Well, it's a go with the flow versus having all the steps prepared. You like to have all the steps prepared.
Yeah, I'm a planner.
Like that in everything, though.
I'm a planner.
And while I don't mind planning, I tend to like to fly by the seat of my pants a little more.
Yeah, drives me a little crazy, like, to do that. You know, just something so important. Mm-hmm. Like, if we're in another country or something, like, and we're on vacation, then yeah, you can go see the locals and do fun things and kind of let the day take you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like a person's existence being formed,
right,
it's weird.
But you're worried about the right things. I don't think it's going to be as big of a shock as you think it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of those things of, there's going to be some adjustments for the pacing of maybe bedtime and like bath time situation.
I feel very unprepared for that because I haven't read the books again.
Well, it's also going to be different because we're also working around the schedule of another child at the same time.
I think you just bring those schedules together.
Maybe, but I mean, when they're really young, they go to bed a lot earlier. I mean, they're probably about an hour off of each other.
Bedtime, yeah, but like you can still do bath together.
Sure.
Like,
and he'll be in his own little tub for a little while.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think that it's the unknown portion of it is not as after the fact. I think you'll feel like it won't be as big of a deal. because it'll be like, oh, we're in it. Like, what am I gonna do? I can't hit pause. I can't hit rewind. It's we're in it.
I'm not worried like that by any means. It's just like I'm worried I'm not reading the right things to be prepared enough, kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's so many people who just don't read anything too.
I know. So. I know. And those kids are fine too, I'm sure. It's just, it's not me. Like, and
that's the other thing is you can find something that can counteract what you're reading.
Oh my gosh,
at every angle.
One of my mom friends and I were literally saying that the other day. It's just like if you can find one article that says something, and then you can find an article that says the exact opposite is the truth, and you can read yourself into a spiral. Well,
I think that's why, at least what I've found with having the first kid, is it's better to get your kid here and be reactive to the way they are, because you could be nice and studied up on mom's on call, let's say, but it might just not work for that kid.
I mean, I think there's definitely something to be said that everything, that one thing does not work for every child. So yes, you have to adjust to your child, but I can't be reactive, because when I get reactive, then
some things have to be reactive though, because what you prep for might not work.
Well, of course, like yes, but I can't generally be just reactive.
Sure.
Because then I will yell, I will get frustrated, I will cry. Like, that's not good mommy like behavior. That's when our 2-year-old walks in and has to start telling me to take breaths. That's not good. Like, is when I'm being reactive and I don't have a game plan. When I get hit unprepared is when me and her switch roles somehow. Like, it's not good. So
you know things are bad when your kid's just like, hey dude, let's calm down a little bit.
What did
your
I
kid's
do?
Like, hey man, hey, we're all good here.
The English muffin, that's what it was. The other morning we were all making breakfast in our closet of a kitchen, and the English muffins that we had, we only had 2 left because we had a whole nother pack, but it had molded somehow. It had never been opened.
One pack out of the 2, the Costco big pack had molded, and the other pack did not.
So we only had 2, and she didn't want an English muffin. She wanted grits. So I'm making you and me an English muffin with eggs and bacon or sausage, and I sat mine precariously and almost got to the end.
Yeah.
I had her food ready. She didn't want it. I had your food ready, and mine was almost ready, and I hadn't had anything to eat yet that morning.
You slid it a little bit to get so you could open the microwave.
Yeah, and it no. My belly caught. It was sitting. It was sitting on halfway on a towel, halfway on a plate, paper towel. It
was on a paper towel.
Yeah. And my belly caught the towel and pulled the whole thing in the floor when I spun to open the microwave. And I just like, I lost it. And the kid just stops in her tracks and just goes, "It's okay, mommy, take a breath." I was just like, "You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Not
You're
mad
right,
at you.
2-year-old.
Not mad at
take
you.
A breath.
Mommy's mad because I dropped my muffin." And then she started going, "Can I have a muffin? Can I have a muffin?" I'm like, "No, you can't. That's my muffin on the floor that I'm going to eat."
Well, she was thinking muffin though.
Yeah.
Yeah. She grabs onto whatever. But, I mean, there's nothing that's going to stop you from being anxious about that stuff. There's nothing that's going to stop you from being anxious about the things you're anxious about. Yeah. Those aren't necessarily things I'm anxious about.
Well, which is good.
So it's a good balance out. But I just think that from my perspective, the things you're worried about, I think are going to fall right into place, and they're going to be fine.
I am a little worried about breastfeeding this time.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
You don't have to.
I know. I mean, but I want to at the same time. Like, I want to do it for him, but that's about where it stops. Like, I got no desire to prove myself. I got no desire to suck up to a mom group that thinks it's the only way. Like,
it's probably a lot less stress than the last time. You stressed yourself out last time. I think we talked about this on the last podcast, but
I mean, there's that. I worry about,
But even if it's too much out of the gate, just say it. We'll just we'll go to formula. Who cares? We know plenty of people that were raised on formula. They're fine.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. We'll
They
see
might
if they
have
become
weird ticks
psychos later.
when they're, yeah, they might have weird ticks when they're in the bathroom by themselves. You know?
I think the only other things that we've like come across for big decisions are like snip or not to snip.
Oh yeah, the old circumcision.
Yeah. And then
That's a rough one. We've heard so much. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that.
yeah,
Guess we'll see.
we will see. You won't see. That's gross. Don't do that.
No one will see
No one will see.
except for us because we got to change the diapers.
Yeah.
And clean, bathe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going into it with about the same birth plan we had before. That worked pretty well. Knock
Just
on
get
wood.
them here safe. Yeah. Well,
That's all I know of right now, man.
just think about it.
We'll see what he's
got
doing.
Plenty of time. We're killing the clock over here.
We should have talked about him more.
We talked about him.
All his organs are fully formed.
Hey, except for the lungs.
Except for the lungs. And so he's probably going to be fine if he even gets here a little bit early. He is practicing inhaling amniotic fluid to practice using those lungs. And he's no longer see-through. Melanin has come in on his skin.
He's no longer translucent. You got to get that belly out in the sun so I could see the whole inside light up.
I was trying to get out there the day, but we were busy chasing everybody.
The afternoons are busy, man.
I get so quick. Like they're just gone. And now we got extra daylight and they're still gone.
Yeah.
But that's where he is. If you follow along on like What to Expect When You're Expecting Zap, like they show you the picture of the belly with the baby in it and everything, and he's pretty much my entire midsection now, which feels about right.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're fading.
Yep. Let's go do some
We're
stuff
super boring.
before. No, we're not boring. We tend to talk until we run out of gas, and we're just like, all right, I guess we'll let you go.
I mean, I feel like this is like the worst way to end a podcast.
We got to work on our timing.
Yeah.
But we're also tired.
We're sleep
Parents.
deprived, man.
Tired parents.
There were days there where
Some of us are going to school. Some of us are building a child in their belly. And we're trying to keep a toddler in the bed.
she started opening the windows to the outside world now too, and I'm like, no, quit it.
Listen, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. parentallyunprepared@gmail.com if you want to send us a message or something like that. If you want to tweet at us, it's at @punpreparedpod. Got any words of wisdom? Sorry, I burped. Got any words of wisdom for anybody out there?
Don't drink carbonated beverages before you podcast.
Yeah, that was very dumb of us.
But otherwise, have fun. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.
See y'all next time, babe. I almost called him babe. See you next time. Bye.
Bye, babes.